The Valley of the End is the site of so many battles within the Naruto world, all of which involve Indra and Asura. The valley itself was carved out by battles between Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha, and it served as the site for 2 more battles to come, each between their reincarnates. To show how utterly matched they were, Indra and Ashura's reincarnates both rank at 1.5 wins each. Each possess 1 win, 1 loss, and a tie. The victory of Asura being when Hashirama killed Madara, and the victory of Indra being when Sasuke K.O.'d Naruto at the Valley of the End, and a tie when they both fought there for over 24 hours and ended up losing their dominant arms in a draw, though it could be argued that Naruto won as he was the one who got what he wanted out of it. Regardless, one of the most important battles here happened to be the one between Naruto and Sasuke in the first part, during the Sasuke Recovery Mission. Because Naruto wasn't quite as strong, he was defeated when Sasuke's second stage curse mark bolstered his power to rival that of the Ninetales version 1 Chakra Cloak. But what if Naruto didn't lose this fight? What if he won this one too? What would have changed for the Naruto series then? That is what we're gonna find out.
Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, we publish a new video every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Also, we just released some brand new merch. If you'd like to show your support for the channel even further while at the same time repping stylish clothing, be sure to check that out as well. The store is linked below. YouTube's been unsubscribing users from channels lately, so if you're a fan of us, please do us a favor and double check to see if you're still subscribed. It only takes a second and it helps us a ton here at Amagi. And with that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Standing upon 2 logs that had fallen into the water, Sasuke gazed upon his rival. In truth, Naruto had been the only friend he had ever known. As much as his heart was still pained to fight him, there was a bittersweet savor to it. To prove that he was stronger than the do-nothing, be-nobody eternal genin that he had always viewed Naruto as. But beyond that, as much as his heart ached at this battle, it pulsed with expectation. Kill him, he heard in his head. Killing him will do it. It will awaken the same eyes Itachi has. Splitting the upturned log in half, he fell down into the water below, picking up a single plank. With a nefarious grin, he filled that plank full of his chakra and threw it at Naruto's log, splitting it as well. Naruto's landing was not quite so graceful, but he managed to stay atop the water. Once more they dueled. As the battle went on, this intense rivalry, this need to outdo the other, led to them both developing quite a bit. Naruto's powers had developed the more he fought, his chakra cloak eventually shaping itself into a fox's silhouette as his movements and personality became more feral, more brutal. Sasuke was not so different. The hatred festering in his heart would continue to fuel a dark chakra in his very bones that would pour itself into his optic nerves, slowly evolving his Sharingan into a full matured state possessing 3 Tomoe. But even as that proved to be not enough, Sasuke's body grew gray as the full power of his curse mark was pulled out. A set of webbed hands appeared on his back, the wings of some demon flaring to protect him from the battle, from the angry kitsune that proved to be every bit his rival. They charged at each other again, blows being offered evenly, but as they stood below the massive statues of Hashirama and Madara, they couldn't help but feel like they had been here before, and maybe even one day would be here again. A thrilling feeling, but there was a subtle sorrow in the air. Fighting here below the waterfall of the valley, it truly did feel like the end. For Madara and Hashirama, it had been the end, and now for Naruto and Sasuke, it would be the end as well. One would die here, and even if they did not, the damage done to their relationship was irreparable. Perhaps that's how it should be. Sasuke held his hand down and flooded his fingertips with chakra. Suddenly, as if his hatred were taking shape, his lightning turned a black color. Darkness, he thought. The darkness is calling for me. Across from him, Naruto was readying his own Rasengan. It was purple, slightly carbonated and bubbly, a perfect mesh between his own and the Ninetales chakra. Suddenly, they burst from the feet of the statues towards the other, their hands out, ready to strike. Their attacks connected, and they were enveloped in the pure white light of 2 unstoppable spears clashing into unbreakable shields. It's said that when 2 skilled shinobi trade blows, they can understand each other in a way that no other form of communication can convey. And in that moment, they witnessed it. Sasuke, in his cursed state, looked into Naruto's eyes, the fox slits of the Jinchuriki gazing back. No words were said, but the warriors within their hearts were speaking clearly and concisely. Sasuke, please don't leave, is what Naruto's heart was saying. After all of this, Naruto still considered him a friend. How foolish. Why do you even give a damn? You're just a loser, and I'm the gifted student you've always been jealous of. You should be glad I'm leaving. Naruto's eyes showed sorrow. No, I'm not, because you're not just that guy who I'm jealous of. We're a team. You, me, Sakura, Kakashi-sensei. We're a team. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. So what? So what if we're a team? Why should that change things? Teams change. people change. Naruto looked like he was fighting back tears by this point. No, it's more than that. We're a family. Sasuke was struck by this, unsure how to respond. He boiled on it for what felt like a second. We're not a family. We were never a family. What could you know about family? You've never had one. Naruto's expression was getting more and more sorrowful. That's why you, Sakura, and Kakashi are so special. You're my first family. I understand the pain you're in, Sasuke. Your brother. I know what you're feeling like. Sasuke's eye widened as his teeth were shown like fangs. You know nothing. You can't claim to understand. You never had a family, so how could you understand the pain of losing it? Naruto, by this time, had broken down. Because I'm losing it right now. Sasuke felt as if he'd been punched in the stomach, though he suffered no physical trauma as of yet. Naruto continued, You're my brother. I love you like a brother. I would fight for you, die for you. Why are you throwing that away? Why are you throwing us away? Why are you throwing me away? Sasuke took a moment to breathe, because someone threw me away, and I needed to deal with that. No matter what, I needed to make the hurt go away. Naruto shook his head. You're making your hurt go away by making me hurt instead. I promised Sakura I would bring you home. We're a family. Please don't throw us away. I can't be thrown away again. The entire village has thrown me away. Iruka, Kakashi, Sakura, you're the first people who have not thrown me away, and now you're giving up on me too. I can't keep doing this, Sasuke. He saw the hole in Naruto's jacket, a hole he had made earlier with his Chidori. He had meant to kill him. Yes, Naruto was still begging him to come back. His face was only making this harder. Sasuke knew that if he could just murder Naruto right here and right now, he could awaken his Mangekyo. But it was then as if a voice whispered in his ear, is a Mangekyo really worth it? He couldn't find where that voice came from. The voice continued, they say that overuse of it causes you to go blind due to damage to your ocular nerves. But that's not what it is. The hatred you have, the longer you hold it, the more you weaponize it, the more blinded you become to the light that's right in front of you. You don't want a Mangekyo, Sasuke. You want that light. Sasuke listened to the voice and realized that the person who had said it to him was himself, his own inner Sasuke. Before he had left, before the Sound Four had come to give him an offer to train under Orochimaru to grow stronger faster, he had severe reservations. He felt as if he were choosing between his friends and his enemies, and he chose his enemies. He thought that line of thought was dead. He thought he had killed that Sasuke, burying him under a pile of excuses. You can't go back, he told himself after he left the village. You'll never be able to go back. Accept your fate. But suddenly he was feeling a new fate forming, or resurrecting. As if having a vision of the future, he saw himself in a flak jacket beside Naruto and Sakura, smiling as they stood at equal size to their mentor, mirroring the image they had taken the day when they became Kakashi's students, but instead, now he was smiling. Looking back into Naruto's crying eyes, he heard another plea. I forgive you, Sasuke. Break all of my bones, stab both my shoulders, cut my damn arm off, I don't care. I forgive you. Please, just come back and be my brother again. Sasuke felt his heart falter, and in that moment, time resumed. They were back under the waterfall. A black orb began to form as their energies clashed until suddenly cracks of white light formed from the center and spread outward in all directions. The orb became light and then exploded. The battle was over. The once blue skies overcast with shadowy clouds as they dropped their payloads of rain down onto the already drenched and soggy bodies of the two brothers, the new Cain and Abel. But this time, Cain was the one on the ground, and Abel was the one crying over his body. Naruto held Sasuke close to him. Never before had he ever thought it would hurt so badly to win, nor did Sasuke ever think it would feel so good to lose. His consciousness flickered a bit, in and out as he felt his body ravaged by the explosion of the clashing attacks. His entire being, his mind, body, and soul were drained to a point that he felt that if he even thought about death, he would die. He saw a small dog coming across the water. He began to wonder if he was hallucinating, but he wasn't. It was Pakun, one of Kakashi-sensei's ninken, a ninja dog. He saw his mentor land on the water as well, the falling rain slapping across the surface between them. In one blink, he was over 10 meters away, and in a second, he was 5. And with the final blink, he was kneeling beside him. He heard voices speaking, but couldn't make out what they were saying. His mouth moved. Whether any words came out or not, he couldn't tell, but his spirit was calling out for closure to this whole ordeal. Kakashi-sensei, take me home. His eyes closed and he slept a dreamless sleep for an unknown amount of time. It felt like forever, but then again, it also felt like a short time compared to how long he was truly out. He wasn't the only one in the hospital either. Neji was hospitalized. Choji was in critical condition. Kiba and Akamaru, Shikamaru, so many of those who had volunteered themselves were in critical condition. Even Naruto was held for a time to get examined. He had many cracked ribs and even slight internal damage from Sasuke's strikes. Nothing that wouldn't heal, but he would be off duty for a while to recover. His right hand was charred and burned. They would attempt to heal it with medical ninjutsu, but after going so far with it, they would proceed to wrap it up and let his body do the rest. Sasuke could hear, but he could not see. He was barely conscious, if not completely unconscious, for the next few days. But eventually, one day, his eyes opened to see the familiar ceiling tiles from before. Turning his head to the side, he would see Sakura sleeping by his bedside, gripping his hand. She was so annoying. No. He thought she was annoying because she was a distraction, a weakness, but no, she wasn't. She was someone he treasured, someone he almost threw away. He wanted to talk to her, apologize, but his throat was parched. This caused him to strangle and cough, which startled her awake. Seeing his eyes open, she gasped and ran out the door. "Kakashi-sensei! Kakashi-sensei! He's awake!" Kakashi would walk in carrying a balloon. "I see someone's awake." Sasuke would look at the man as he held a yellow latex balloon. Kakashi would smile, only his right eye betraying this expression. "I got you a balloon to say I hope you're feeling better." He then pulled the balloon down and popped it, still maintaining that expression. "I am now taking your balloon away to show disapproval for your actions." Sasuke watched the balloon pop. Inside he was smirking, but his face was too tired to show it. Kakashi pulled up a seat. He sat by the bed and grabbed the remote. He hit the button on it, causing Sasuke's bed to slowly sit up. He held the button down as the bed rose at an agonizingly slow pace. Once he was up, Kakashi offered him some water. Sasuke took it and drank 3 sips before Kakashi took it away again, all while still sporting that smile that was slowly slipping from endearing to creepy. "Everyone in Konoha is so pissed at you," Kakashi said bluntly, his smile turning into an exhausted frown. "How could you be so stupid? Going to Orochimaru for power? Do you know how many people I've seen try the same thing only to end up dissected on one of his tables? More than a few. We drove him out for a reason." Sasuke remained silent. He noted that neither Naruto nor Sakura had shown up. This was a private lecture, it seemed. Kakashi looked to him. "Do you know how many people almost died because of your stunt? 4 of your classmates are in the hospital. 5 if we count Akamaru." Sasuke looked down. Kakashi waited for a moment. "The only reason you're not in a cell right now is because nobody died. If even a single genin had died trying to bring you back, nobody would have cared if you were 12 of 34. You would be in prison at least, at most, on death row. What do you have to say for yourself?" Sasuke fought to speak, his voice dry and parched from days of non-use and the lack of water outside intravenous. Kakashi gave him some water and then took it back away after another 3 sips. His kindness and wrath apparently were conflicting. Sasuke spoke. "I'm sorry." Kakashi smiled. "Sorry's not good enough, Sasuke. What do you plan to do to make amends?" Sasuke didn't know what to do. He grabbed one of Kakashi's kunai and attempted to disembowel himself. Kakashi caught his wrist, gripping it with enough force that Sasuke thought it might snap. Kakashi's eye had opened, though it retained a calm demeanor. "Harakiri isn't a viable option. Trust me, I've seen that this gets you nowhere. The dead can't make amends." Sasuke dropped the kunai. Kakashi took it back up. "If you're serious about being willing to throw your life away to make amends, then anything else should be easy for you. Rest up. If you're truly sorry, then make amends with your friends, as a start." Kakashi then left the room. He stepped back in and left a vase of yellow roses. "For you." He left. Sasuke sighed. Suddenly, his mentor's arm appeared from outside the door and knocked the vase off the table. Then he was gone. After a moment had passed, Sakura walked in. "I see Kakashi-sensei brought his well wishes," she said, stepping over the broken shards of pottery. Sasuke looked to her. "I'm sorry I called you annoying and left the village." She smiled. "I'll always forgive you, Sasuke." He cast his blanket to the side and attempted to stand. She gripped his arm. "What are you doing?" He looked to her. "I'm getting up to go see my friends." She was startled. "But you're hurt." Sasuke shook his head. "No, I've got to do this. Let me do this." She gulped and nodded. She grabbed his arm. "I'm coming with you." She led him out. Sasuke stumbled through the halls and made it to the bedrooms of each of his friends. Some were awake, some were getting ready to be discharged, and some were still comatose. But to each one he offered a humble apology. Eventually, he would make it to Naruto. He was sitting there on a bench. Seeing Sasuke come, he had turned away from him, shunning him for what he had done. Was Naruto upset? Was he mad? No. Naruto had shown a side of himself that he didn't want to show anyone. A heavily vulnerable side. He wasn't mad, he was embarrassed. Naruto would sit there, looking away from him until he heard a grunt, followed by a slight gasp from Sakura. He looked back. Sasuke was on his hands and knees. "I humbly seek your forgiveness. I was stupid and selfish and foolhardy, and I began to throw something away more valuable than I had originally believed. For that, I am so sorry. Naruto turned back and almost cried again, but held it together and smiled. He stood over him. It's alright, Sasuke. I know you can be dumb sometimes. I'll make allowances. Sasuke wanted to gut Naruto, but at the same time, he knew that he deserved every word of it. He raised up to his knees again and was helped up by Sakura and Naruto. The three of them embraced in a hug, and in the distance, Kakashi stood there. His mask drew up slightly as he smiled beneath it. This was the beginnings of recovery. This was the true Sasuke Recovery Mission. Not bringing him back to the village physically, but bringing his heart back to the village. For a time though, the team had to be apart. Naruto was to go off and train with Jiraiya to help him learn how to control the power of the nine-tailed fox. While gone, it would only be Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. As time passes, Sasuke is treated with less trust, though Kakashi vouches for him. That being considered, due to his actions prior, he is held at Genin level for a time, while Sakura ascends to Chunin level during the course of the joint Konohasuna Chunin exams. Can one say that he's content with this? No, in fact, he hates it a lot. But Kakashi tells him that there are many steps to take when it comes to trust, and once trust is squandered, it is hard to reclaim it again. So much of the time Sasuke spends training. He doesn't wish to stagnate while Naruto blows by him even further. Sasuke to that point is forbidden from utilizing his curse mark whatsoever. Once more, it's resealed with the evil sealing technique. Kakashi isn't going to give him nothing though, so he proceeds to train Sasuke to become more efficient. He tells Sasuke that there are many ways to grow stronger, and sometimes some people just can't grow their chakra reserves as much as others. So he begins teaching him his own style to help him catch up. Total control. That is what is required. Sasuke asks how he'll do that, and Kakashi shows him how. He brings him to a special location, a river. Showing Sasuke, he walks out towards the waterfall with chakra at the bottoms of his feet. This allows him to stand on the surface without sinking. A long time ago, I took you to the land of waves and told you how to stick to the surfaces of things, how to stand on the surface of water, how to run up the surface of a tree. I taught you chakra control. Now we're going to take that up many levels. It's obvious to me, and it should be obvious to you, that you can't catch Naruto when it comes to chakra reserves. He's both an Uzumaki and possessor of the nine-tailed fox. It's like an inchworm trying to measure an oak. Sasuke then asked him, then what do I do? Kakashi would continue. The inchworm can climb the oak if it paces itself, knows when, where, and how much energy to exert. That is what I will teach you, not how to fight stronger. How to fight smarter. A baseball bat is bigger than a needle, but guess which one requires less force to pop a balloon? That is what you're going to do. Sasuke nodded. The logic was sound. Kakashi showed him. He sat under the waterfall, his legs crossed. Sit below the waterfall and let it splash down on you. While you do so, keep yourself afloat until I return. Sasuke nodded. He sat down and crossed his legs as Kakashi stood. Sasuke looked up at him. How long will you be gone? Kakashi looked at the sky. A new Icha novel came out today. I'm going to get it, go home, and binge read it. When I finish the novel, I'll come back. Stay floating until then. Kakashi left. Sasuke was surprised, a little annoyed, but also took this as a challenge. If this was the best way for him to grow better in training, then it's exactly what he would do. And so he sat there under that waterfall for over 24 hours, closing in on 30. Eventually Kakashi came back. Sasuke looked up at him. How was your novel? Kakashi shrugged. I don't know. It was out of stock. Sasuke began to wonder what he did for the last 30 hours. Kakashi helped him stand. Seems you managed it. Tomorrow we will up your training though. So for the night, Sasuke was allowed to go home, rest, eat, and do whatever helped him recover faster. The day after, Kakashi welcomed him back. Now we will do the same thing all over again. However, there's a catch. You must do it standing up, on one leg. Sasuke seemed hesitant, but thinking of how much training Naruto must be doing, he agreed. He went to that waterfall and stood under it on one leg. I'm gonna go and see if they have the new novel out yet. I'll binge read it and return. So once more, Sasuke stood there under the waterfall. The racing water began to feel like it was peeling skin with how hard it was rushing past him. This was far harder than before, and the night was especially brisk. The water temperature dropped considerably to the point where Sasuke was almost shivering. However, he knew if he gave in to the shivers, he would fall into the water. He toughed it out. Then, after approximately another 30 hours, Kakashi would return. How was the novel? Sasuke asked. Kakashi would shrug. Would you believe me when I said they didn't even have it at the book bin? Sold out. Sasuke sighed. Kakashi would pat him on the back. Good work. Go home and rest. Tomorrow we will up the training again. Sasuke seemed to grow nervous after hearing that. How did he plan to make this even harder? The next day Sasuke would return. Kakashi would smile. Sasuke would give a nefarious grin and pull something out of a bag. "Look, Kakashi-sensei, I got that new Icha novel you were looking for." Kakashi held it and smiled. "Good, now I don't need to go find it. I can make your training even more hellish with the time I'm saving." Sasuke's smile went away. Kakashi turned around. "Now, get under that waterfall." Sasuke would stand under it. "Like this?" Kakashi would look at him. "Close, but not upside down enough." Sasuke was shocked to find that he'd be doing a handstand for this one. The moment that he was on his hands, he knew it would be a whole new level of difficulty that made the others seem like nothing. The water was cold, the blood was rushing to his head, and now that he was upside down, the water was rushing up his body, trying to get into his nose. The key is complete chakra control of your body and proper breathing methods. Do both right and your stamina will hold out, and you won't drown from the waterfall. Kakashi then turned. He didn't leave though. He grabbed a plank and sat it across Sasuke's feet. Sasuke fought to speak. "What are you doing?" Kakashi looked down at him. "Since you went to the trouble of finding me that book, the least I can do is read it to you." Kakashi then hopped up on Sasuke's feet, sitting across the plank. He began to read. Forward. Sasuke found this near unmanageable. The constantly shifting weight, the ever-changing water flow, the blood rushing to his head that he had to try to alleviate with chakra control, the proper breathing control, and the fact that Kakashi was reading smut out loud and even doing voices made concentration near impossible. He almost fell multiple times, but Kakashi warned him that if he fell, then Kakashi would lose his place in the book and they would need to start all over again. And that was all the incentive he needed. Kakashi read it slow, and would stop every so often to talk about what he reads, events in the previous novels, as well as giving Sasuke advice on how to sweep a girl off her feet. Many times, he demanded Sasuke answer him, which made it even more strenuous. But over the course of 20 hours, he managed to read the entire book. Just as the sun was rising, he hopped off Sasuke's feet and removed the planks. "Okay, you can go now." Sasuke fell into the water face first, sinking to the bottom. For a moment, he considered just staying down there, but eventually he would surface. As a prize, Kakashi gave him the waterlogged novel. "Be sure to read it only in a secret place. Don't want Sakura thinking you're a pervert." Kakashi gathered up his things and began to leave. Using chakra control, he pushed the entirety of the water from his body and proceeded to head home with his student. Sasuke lagged behind a ways, but Kakashi waited on him. "So, I was thinking about tomorrow." Sasuke would growl a loud sigh. "Can I please not?" Kakashi looked back. "Well, if you want to quit, I guess you can, but you'll never surpass Naruto if you don't have discipline." Kakashi walked home, and for a time Sasuke thought on what he said, and realized that he was right. Kakashi, the next day, would visit the waterfall again, and would notice Sasuke there, under the waterfall, upside down, this time suspending his body over the water by only his index fingers. He would smile, pleased with the initiative. The next day, though, upon coming to the waterfall, he would not find Sasuke there. He assumed he had given up and was prepared to go home. However, he stopped when he witnessed something: Sasuke's shirt lying on a rock. Kakashi would walk over and pick it up. It hadn't been there long, it was still warm. "Sasuke, Sasuke, Sasuke!" Suddenly, a set of kunai and shurikens struck Kakashi upside the head, but with a puff of smoke, he had become a wooden log. Substitution jutsu. Using his Sharingan, he threw a flurry of shurikens, striking whoever was there. They fell out of the tree. He investigated the body and found only a headband. The plate had a song note engraved upon it. Sasuke opened his eyes. Suddenly, he coughed, water exiting his lungs. He sat there and wheezed, trying to catch his breath. He looked around. Where was he? He was in a dark room. Only a few candles were lit. Where was he? Suddenly, a door opened and a man of pale complexion walked in. He had purple pigmentation around his eyes. Sasuke recognized this man. It was Orochimaru. "Sasuke, you never made it to Otogakure. Did you get sidetracked? Did Konoha's forces capture you?" Sasuke scoffed. "I couldn't even beat Naruto with the shoddy powers you'd given me. Why would I come here for more?" Orochimaru would shake his head. "What a shame. I had hoped we could work closely together." He would laugh. "I will have the power of your Sharingan, Sasuke. Bet upon that." Kakashi, along with many other shinobi of the Leaf, were in hot pursuit. Kakashi had his Ninken following the scent of Sasuke's abandoned shirt. Sakura would appear behind him. "Kakashi-sensei, any new leads?" He would shake his head. "The trail is going cold." Orochimaru covered his tracks well. Above, a murder of crows flew. Kakashi looked up at them and felt an odd sense of melancholy mixed with nostalgia, and he didn't quite know why. As the murder flew by, he landed by a cave entrance and reconstituted into a man wearing a black and red cloak. The man entered the facility. Within, he found multiple shinobi, Otonin blocking his way. Pulling his kunai, he began to hurl them at the enemy as they rushed him. He jumped onto the ceiling and ran across from wall to wall, stopping only to right his head and cast a great fireball jutsu. Hitting the ground, he pulled a blade and began to fight like a madman. He eliminated all those in his way and began to make his way down the corridors. At the end of the hall, more Otonin appeared. They rushed him, only for him to utilize Amaterasu to push them all back, burning many to death with the unquenchable flames. Passing through, he found one Otonin, a survivor. He held him by the collar. Where is he? Where is Sasuke? The Otonin refused to talk, so Itachi cast him under Tsukiyomi. Within the world of Tsukiyomi, the man found himself attached to a cross as Itachi stood below with weapons. You will tell me everything I want to know. I have all the time in the world to wait. It felt like it went on for hours, the torture. In reality, though, it was but only a few seconds. The Otonin spoke. He's being prepared in the master's chambers. Orochimaru will take over his body. Itachi then beheaded the man and made his way deeper. Within, he found Sasuke chained down as Orochimaru assumed his true form. A massive snake formed of tinier snakes. It was representative of the organization Orochimaru formed, and appeared about as dangerous as such. The two then battled, but as Itachi grew tired of this fight, his illness started to catch up with him, and he hedged it all on one final strike. He utilized his Susanoo and its Sword of Totsuka. With one clean lunge, he managed to stab Orochimaru, sealing him into the gourd in its secondary hand. The Susanoo dissipated. Itachi would walk to Sasuke, who had a look of terror upon his face. He would cut the chains, and the moment he did, Sasuke jumped back against the wall and waited there, gathering strength where he would then cast a great fireball jutsu. Itachi would deflect the attack with his Amaterasu. Sasuke would question this. Why? Why you of all people come for me? Itachi would look up to his little brother, trying to hide his illness to the best of his abilities. Show me. Do you possess the Mangekyo yet? Sasuke gulped as he didn't. Itachi would quickly dash up to him. You're the only Uchiha left that can give me even a halfway decent fight. If you can't fight, what good are you? He would kick him into a corner. From there, he would stomp Sasuke. I saved you so that I may kill you myself. But now, just as it was so many years ago, you're not even worth killing. You're as much a waste of oxygen as you are a waste of my time. He would grip Sasuke by the back of the neck and press him into the ground. You need to be reminded? Let me give you some incentive to grow stronger. He then cast Sasuke under Tsukiyomi, forcing him to relive their parents' murder over and over again for the course of about 30 minutes. During that time, Itachi would pull back. I'm sorry, Sasuke. I wish I didn't have to. What did you say? Sasuke asked as he sat up, his bruised face turning toward him. Itachi was surprised. How did he manage to resist Tsukiyomi? Sasuke sat up. Did you just apologize? Itachi would sigh, knowing his cover is blown. Damn it. Should have just kept my mouth shut. Sasuke stood, cautiously readying to defend himself. Itachi continued. I didn't want to hurt you. Not now. Not ever. Together, Sasuke and Itachi would sit down to talk, and during the course of their talk, he would let it slip that Konoha had set him up. Sasuke was furious upon learning what they had done to Itachi, but Itachi did not care. He knew that Sasuke's reaction would be to flee deeper into the darkness, as all Uchiha naturally did, but he would not have this. Instead, he would utilize his crow and cast Sasuke under Konoha Tsukami. He would persuade Sasuke to remain loyal to Konoha with his genjutsu, and then would explain to him the threat of the Akatsuki. He would tell him everything. He would say to Sasuke that he needs to take this information back to Konoha. Itachi would then pull out a blade. I had hoped that you would be the one to end me. I wanted you to become a hero. I can still salvage this though. Before Sasuke could stop him, he would tell his brother, take my head back to Konoha. Become their hero. Tell them about the Akatsuki. Sasuke would pull the kunai out and cover the wound. No, I don't want to become a hero this way. Itachi looked into his brother's eyes and noticed a pattern having changed to that of the Mangekyo Sharingan. You have such a beautiful pattern, Sasuke. Promise me you'll take my eyes. Let them protect you. Allow me to see the world you will create. Holding his brother in his arms, Sasuke cried tears of blood, and with that, Itachi breathed his last. Sasuke cried further for his brother. He would then carry the body out and eventually meet up with Kakashi, where he'd explain what his brother said. Kakashi would understand. He realized the gravity of this situation, as well as the meaning behind everything Itachi had said. Regardless, he did not wish for Itachi's body to be utilized as a way to bring fame, not when he was wrongfully accused. Instead, he would help Sasuke bury him in secret beside Fugaku and Makoto Uchiha under a gravestone that simply said, a beloved beloved son. Sasuke would then tell Tsunade everything. She would listen and lament the way the leaf treated Itachi, but she was grateful for the information. She quickly called Jiraiya back along with Naruto as Sasuke followed his brother's wishes and transplanted his Mangekyo Sharingan, gaining for himself the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. From then on out, he would train with Kakashi, who currently was the only one with a Mangekyo. He learned that his ability was Amaterasu. He almost burned the forest down with the ability. He only managed to stop it when he learned that he had control over the flames via Kagetsuchi. He also discovered his Susanoo and trained with it for quite a time. As soon as Naruto and Jiraiya got back, Tsunade would relay the threat of the Akatsuki, and would tell Jiraiya that he needs to help Naruto grow stronger quickly without relying on the Nine Tails. This resulted in Jiraiya and Naruto training at Mount Myoboku to learn Sage Mode. Upon returning, Tsunade would lead a raid on Amagakure where they would search for Pain. They would search for him utilizing the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. The other shinobi of the leaf would defend against the various Ame-nin that were sent out to fight them. And when Pain and his 6 paths came out to play, they were fought by both Sasuke and Naruto. Jiraiya would fight beside Naruto, both master and student, while Sasuke and Kakashi fought together. They would manage to take down the 6 paths, but Konan was a lot harder. She would utilize paper to attack, which made her a hard target to hit. However, Sasuke began utilizing Amaterasu alongside of Susanoo, which managed to kill her. Jiraiya was shocked to realize the Ame orphans he had raised had done such a thing. He steeled his resolve, however, vowing to protect Konoha at all costs. Eventually they found Nagato, and Sasuke recalled how it was paramount to destroy his Rinnegan. And so, given that Nagato could not properly defend himself, Sasuke utilized Amaterasu to turn him and his Rinnegan to ashes. This would end the threat of the Ten Tails, as the Rinnegan were required to make use of it. Peace would return for a time, but Black Zetsu and Obito would manage to create a workaround. If they could not use Nagato's Rinnegan, then they would create a new set. This became plausible when Black Zetsu discovered that Sasuke had the potential to awaken it. They attempted to manipulate him into awakening it, even going so far as to implant Hashirama Senju's cells into him. However, the process of awakening would take too long, and Obito began to lose hope. Black Zetsu, however, did not. For years, everything would remain peaceful. Toneri would threaten the earth, but be beaten back. Momoshiki would attack in the hopes of reclaiming the tailed beasts to fuel his own Ten Tails, which was not something he could allow. So, as Naruto would be captured for his tailed beast, Obito would offer to help them find Naruto, and together they would defeat Momoshiki. This would leave everyone wondering what the remnants of the Akatsuki were after. However, during the Ishiki battle, as Sasuke nears death, his Indra Chakra and Hashirama's Asura Chakra would mingle perfectly and awaken his Rinnegan. With this new power, he and Naruto would manage to defeat Ishiki. It's then that Black Zetsu and Obito make their move. Black Zetsu would hold Sasuke still, and would allow Obito to pluck out his Rinnegan, which Obito would use in conjunction with Ishiki's Ten Tails, managing to utilize it in the body of Ishiki to help it reach maturity. He would then absorb it, becoming the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. This leads to a battle in which Naruto and Sasuke found themselves unmatched. However, as all looks bleak, the Sage of 6 Paths would grant them each some of his chakra, allowing Naruto to reach 6 Paths Sage Mode and Sasuke to awaken another Rinnegan. Together, they would manage to defeat Obito. Through the creation of all things technique, Naruto would split the second Ten Tails into 9 other tailed beasts, and the second husk he and Sasuke would seal away with 6 Paths Shibaku Tensei in another dimension for safekeeping. Eventually, a time would come though that Sasuke would die. Even he must grow old, and when that time comes, he would will it that both of his Rinnegan should be destroyed as to not allow the threat of the Ten Tails to return. Or at least, that's what I believe would happen. But what do you think would happen? Let me know down in the comments below. It's my belief that Sasuke's growth would actually be stunted a little bit if he didn't go with Orochimaru. We do know that Orochimaru helped Sasuke grow faster at an unholy rate, and this was due to the experiments and procedures that had been done on him. Without those, Sasuke's chakra growth might have been far more limited, which is why I thought it was perfect that Kakashi would teach him better chakra control. Anyway.
Did you enjoy our video? Well, then be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.